Running and hiding. To some people, those are meaningless words in a dictionary. To others like me, that's how my life has been since I was a little boy. There have been other stories about immigration. Mine is just one of many. I was about the age of 3 when things started to change in my life. One day I'm playing with friends and family. The next, I'm getting separated from my parents and heading over the border. We came to the US in hope of a better life for ourselves, so we wouldn't have to suffer like my parents did. I remember short parts of how it was back then, like miniature films in the back of my head. Sometimes happy, and sometimes a never ending nightmare. I remember that when they first separated us, my mom's face was pale and scared, and I wondered if we would ever see her again. She rode off in a truck, while we went with the other children in a bus, and we were off. The next thing I remember is my sister telling me we would be okay. We'd make it through. Finally met up with my mom a couple weeks later in California. We didn't settle for a while. We came to Marshalltown, stayed for about a year. It seemed as things were going smoothly. We had finally settled. But then, the unthinkable happened. We were getting kicked out of our trailer. We only had 3 days to move, because someone else had bought the land. We had no choice but to move again. We moved to a place in Nebraska called Grand Island. We lived in an apartment without any luxuries. We had to start over, a new life, with a new school, with new friends. I was about 10 now, had made new friends and everything. Things were looking great. I was loving life. Then one day, I came home, they said, pack your bags, we're leaving. We had a limit on how much we could take. I had a hard time choosing what to pack in the plastic bag. Mostly clothes, a couple toys. That was it. I asked why we were moving. They told me. They closed the plant in which they were working. We moved back to Marshalltown, living with some of my dad's friends, until we moved into a rat-infested hellhole. I turned 16 September 20th of 2006. Throughout those years, moving and hiding, I had no idea things could get as bad as they did. First, my dad had to move away because they were letting people go at Swifts. There was a rumor immigration was in town. He left to Nebraska. Then a couple of weeks later, immigration raided Swifts and took many, including my mom, my uncle, plus many others that we knew. I thought to myself, why us? What did we ever do to deserve this? Why are they going after us when we only work to feed our families and for a better life? When the real criminals are the ones running the government, tearing families apart by doing these raids, making these laws? Life is not always what you expect and what you hope for. For most, life is good, not having a worry in the world. Sometimes I wish I could be like that, not worrying if I would come home and find that my parents were taken and not coming home that day or any other day. Worrying if there were more raids, if we had to move again, to leave to start a new life, with new school, with new friends. That's how many others live their lives, running and hiding. There have been other stories about immigration. Mine is just one of many.